Demo ref gun and setting of guns. The main issue is we've updated software pretty regularly actually in recent times. We've gone from, I think everything now has got at least 1.2e software. That'd be right, mate? Yep. Finally got rid of all the old, really old stuff. Yep. We've also got a lot of 1.3a, and then we've just introduced the production 1.4. Now the reason this staff meeting partly is to just discuss some issues with that and things to, and how to set the guns and those sort of things. The good news is from 1.2e onwards, setting the gaming guns beginning session is actually pretty much standardised. So the first thing we do is when we turn them on, we should be setting the language to the correct setting. Now when we turn it on, we just turn it on, pull the trigger. If it's a laser skirmish or laser tag session, it should say game start. Right? And anyone's working with me knows that. And if it is a Battlefield Live session, it should say mission start. And if it says something in a foreign language, that's definitely wrong. If it's been set to Arabic or Vietnamese or any of the other or something like that, which it can be set to. So if that happens, you have to restart the gaming gun, and you push the left button near the trigger, which is usually the red one, and scroll through to get to language, and then if it's Battlefield Live, you go to US English female, and if it is laser skirmish or laser tag, you use the laser tag sound scheme. So that's the first step. Once you've done that, we can pretty much do everything from the master controller. If I remember, I try to put my P90s in a separate pile to my other submachine guns like the Scorpions and Spitfires. Like in a gun, the big button, most of them are red at the moment, but we are experimenting with that, is the respawn. Right? So you need to explain that to the players. It's pretty easy though. You do it at the briefing, but set out the convoy, so run out of ammo, then go back to your base. Once you've done that, you don't need to therefore use your master controller to reload people during the game. They should actually go back to their base, where presumably there's an ammunition supply, take some ammunition, get back into the battle. Right? So, and then the last thing you want to do is set the timer on your master controller. So you set that, and then when you do a start game, now one of the tricks to watch out for with the U1.4 code is there's now a confirm when you start. So you have to go, I won't do that. You know how you had to confirm on the end? Well, there's now a confirm on start as well. We needed to do that because the start now is actually really important. Previously it didn't matter. The game was already started, you started at the end, it didn't matter, right? Well, now it does matter because we've got a timer, and every time you do the start, it restarts the timer. So you don't want to accidentally, you just started the game, and so I just did, and then I'm just walking around and I bump the start and restart your whole timing of the game. That would be very bad, and I've done that myself. That came out in the beta testing. So you will have to confirm it. So you pull the trigger, push the left or right button, pull the trigger, and that will actually start the game. On the 1.4 code, any gaming gun on 1.4 will hopefully, usually works, display how much time is left in the game on the individual gaming gun itself. So that should, as we introduce 1.4 over the next year, take at least that long before most of the guns have it. Because we're only going to upgrade them if they need to be let it break or something. So players will then not have to ask you how long there is left in the game. They can just look at the display and it'll tell them. Right? So that's something you'll see. And you'll also notice, you have it already, the combo box or medic box and ammunition box and your master controller, if it's got voice feedback on, we'll give you a 1 minute, 30 second and 15 second warnings when the game's about to end. I actually find that pretty handy because I don't have to keep looking at my master controller to find out how much time's left. Yeah, a minute to go, and everything starts a siren, and then another siren, longer siren of 30 seconds. And 15 seconds to go is a continuous siren. Where the siren ends, the game is over, and it just ends the game. So that's really the process that I'm using to run the games. Only one master controller on a field should be set to a timed game. The other one should be untimed. Compatibility, that's the last thing we're going to cover there, is really you want to use the latest version code on your master controller and Rugby Dominic boxes. So if you pick up another gun, like a Scorpion or something else, and try and use it as a master controller, you're probably going to run into trouble. Because it won't respawn later guns. And I found that the reload function on 1.4 doesn't work. If you've got a gun on 1.4 and a master controller earlier version, it probably won't reload as well. That's to do with the fact that the reload now is actually team specific, so our ammunition box can be set to a team and will only reload that team as well as respawn. So that's a little bit of incompatibility. So try whenever possible. If you're going to have to use another gun as a master controller other than the dedicated ones, get one that's got the latest code on it. And you always check the code version when you first turn it on, and you set it to a gaming gun. In the 3-second countdown, it actually gives you the code version. So it should be 1.48. Yeah, cool. Any questions on that? Right. There's repeater mode. Repeater mode is if you've got a spare master controller or medic box or something, you want to set it to repeater. Put it on a high ground, the highest point you can, maybe on top of something, and it should repeat your start, end, pause and resume radio function to master controller. So if you want to get extended range, it should repeat the signal. So the idea is that you might be down low when you start a game, your radio message goes up to the repeater, which is at a high point, and then hopefully direct line of sight to the other gaming guns, and should repeat the message. And it repeats it like about 5 times, pretty quick succession to try and maximise the chances that every gun's going to pick up and start and end. There's no reason to believe that won't work, but I've got to over test it yet, and I'm planning to. Hopefully this weekend at our lunch break, when it's working BFI College, we might try that. Anything else? Cool. Right, thanks guys, I think I'm done.